Hello and welcome to another episode of Screen Facts Podcast. I'm Jason Davis, and the Screen Facts Podcast is a production of Jason Davis Voiceover. Please visit jasondavisvoice.com/podcast for more information about the show and how you can even buy merchandise if you want to support the show. Joining me for today's episode is my favorite person in the entire universe. You know her, you love her, you can't live without her. I know I can't. My beautiful and lovely and incredible wife, Sue Mandzik Davis.
Oh, thank you, honey. Wow, what an introduction. I sure have to live up to that now.
So we're going to talk about a very, very fun movie today.
Very fun.
It's actually a movie that did not have a theatrical release, and I didn't realize this.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
It was a movie that was made for TV, specifically Showtime.
Okay.
And it came out in 2005. It's Reefer Madness, the movie musical.
Nice.
So to be clear, we are going to be giving away lots of spoilers in this episode. So if you've never seen Reefer Madness, the movie musical, watch it before listening to the podcast. This movie is based on a stage show that was based on the 1936 exploitation film Reefer Madness.
Yep.
Now, we did watch the original Reefer Madness
we did.
too, right?
We felt like it one night just to see what the whole hubbub was.
Yeah.
And it was pretty hubbubby.
Pretty hubbubby.
It was pretty horrible.
It was indeed.
It was. I have a whole story about the creation of that, but I don't know if you want to do that.
Movie?
Just yeah.
Well, let's do that first.
Okay.
You know, it's the source material, the propaganda film that
It
this
is.
Musical was based upon. I should say this satirical musical is based
Satirical
upon.
musical. Just a little history of cannabis and the world thereof.
Should we start off by saying, first off, that we're pro-cannabis?
I think that'll be obvious, but
Yeah,
we
that's
can.
true.
Yeah.
We are not under the influence of cannabis as we're recording this.
Not right now, no.
I probably will be after we record
Speak
this.
for yourself. Did you know that ancient Chinese people used cannabis for recreational and medicinal purposes thousands of years ago? There's actually written documentation from around 2700 BC.
Wow.
Shen Nung, known as the father of Chinese medicine, wrote about it being used medically for gout, rheumatism, malaria. The ancient Egyptians used it. And then a Greek physician somewhere around the 1st century of our current era wrote about it in a 5-volume book describing herbal medicines. That book was translated into all these different languages, used around the world until the Renaissance. So
Very interesting.
the whole world knew about the healing powers of this plant. So when the Europeans were in North America in the 1600s, cannabis was being grown here.
Okay.
And it was not just for ingesting it. They used hemp for clothing, rope, paper, et cetera, et cetera. By 1850, the United States had its own book listing medicines and their uses, and cannabis was in it.
There you have it.
They were using it for neuralgia, tetanus, typhus, cholera, rabies, dysentery, leprosy, incontinence, gout, convulsive disorders, and even for treating opiate addiction. So during World War I, the United States was cut off from overseas supplies of cannabis, and people were really encouraged to grow it. You know, do it for the country, right?
Okay.
We needed to use it medically. But in 1914, there was a guy who owned a couple of newspapers.
Could it be William Randolph Hearst?
On the nosy. In 1914, he mounted a yellow journalism campaign to demonize cannabis.
And why did he do this?
Well, there was a few reasons.
Okay.
He had invested heavily in the timber industry to support his newspaper chain.
Aha.
But guess what? Hemp paper was competing with him.
Oh, that's very fascinating.
Right. He was heavily invested in wood pulp newsprint, and he wanted to shut down the competition. Farm equipment had been recently developed, which improved the harvesting of cannabis for fiber, and he wouldn't have it. He hated Mexicans. Flat out racist.
So basically what we're saying here is that all the stigma attached to cannabis is because one greedy dick.
Well, I wouldn't say one greedy dick.
Well,
there was a second greedy dick.
Oh, there was.
Oh, yeah. So what Hearst did was he lumped hemp and marijuana all together. He called it the devil's product. He put out all these stories about it. He refused to use the word cannabis in print. He called it marijuana, which was very exotic to people and caused fear. And they figured it's the Mexicans. And it was crazy. You know how you said there was one dick?
One greedy dick.
One greedy dick? No.
So there's a second greedy dick?
There's another greedy dick. His name was on the high school in this movie. Harry J. Anslinger.
Okay, he was the first commissioner of the U.S. Bureau of Narcotics.
Yep.
Known as the father of the drug war.
Exactly. He was a blatant racist. When they first brought him in, they didn't really know his stance on anything. They were just forming this Federal Bureau of Narcotics investigation. Because there were headlines in the Hearst papers that said things like, Mexican family goes insane after eating marijuana. Other headlines that said, murder weed found up and down coast.
Oh, man.
Deadly marijuana dope plant ready for harvest that means enslavement of California children. And marijuana, assassin of youth.
Sorry, I'm laughing because I'm thinking of the movie now.
Yeah.
So in Reefer Madness, the original film, the propaganda film.
They took all of this and put it on film.
If you watch it now, it's comical.
It's ludicrous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And of course, the movie musical, which we're going to talk about, takes it to the nth degree.
Right. By satirizing it and just taking everything and making it so absurd. A lot of what we see in the movie, most of it had been said by Anslinger himself. He actually, if you go online, I'm not going to read all of them for you because we just don't got all day, and so a lot of them are not appropriate.
Right.
But there was 15 of his most ridiculous quotes about cannabis.
You are fired up, I can tell.
Number 1, marijuana is the most violence-causing drug in the history of mankind.
Yeah, only against the snacks. It's violence against snacks.
I'm going to skip down to number 4. You smoke a joint and you're likely to kill your brother. Marijuana leads to communist brainwashing. The use of cannabis undoubtedly gives rise to a form of addiction, which has serious social consequences, abandonment of work, propensity to theft and crime. You get the picture.
Right.
So this guy was apparently so racist that he would say things in conversation that his colleagues were like shocked.
Wow.
So he got into this position and decided to work with Hearst. The thing that really inspired the very first movie, there was a church group that said, oh, we need to do something about this. And they worked on the very first movie, creating the first movie called originally Tell Your Children. It was eventually sold to Dwayne Esper, who at the time was an exploitation film director.
Okay.
And he was like, oh, I'm going to run with this. And he would speak to church groups. He would go all over, kind of like the Alan Cumming character
in this movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
As we talk about the movie itself, now that I know, oh, that's where they got that from because Anslinger said it. Oh, no, that was a headline. Oh, this was that. They very deliberately in the script put in the historical things.
Yeah.
And I never knew that until I looked into it.
Oh, okay. I'm assuming that everything in the movie musical is taken directly from the original Reefer Madness movie, the propaganda film.
A lot, yeah, like that piano scene.
I'm not even talking about specific shots or whatever. I'm talking like the dialogue. A lot of the dialogue.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a whole sequence in the movie where they talk about how jazz musicians were just agents of evil.
And Anslinger said that was Satan's music. And he went after like Billie Holiday. Like the whole thing in the movie is it like changes the time so they can put in extra grace notes and then white women want to have sex with them.
Unspeakable acts of degradation.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
But Anslinger actually said that.
It's amazing.
That's where they got that from.
It's incredible.
It's wild.
Okay, so let's jump in. Reefer Madness, the movie musical, 2005, was made for the Showtime network.
Okay.
And actually, the head of Showtime was such a fan of the stage production that he said, oh, I can't wait to greenlight this as a movie. So that's how it got made into a movie. And it premiered on Showtime April 16th, 2005. What a missed opportunity.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Right? Could have been April 20th, 420.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
But anyway,
why not?
I digress.
420 shows up often enough, doesn't it?
It does. It sure does. It shows up
4 times, I counted, I think.
So the number 420 shows up as the house number, May's house, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a sign in the church.
Yep, all the songs.
All the songs from the hymnal. Yes. Time of day when they go get the Chinese food.
Yep.
And on the town sign.
Right, because it says 420 miles to Tipton Falls.
There you go. So the movie was directed by Andy Fickman. The writers of the screenplay are the same people who wrote the stage production. They took out one song and replaced it with another.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that in a second. But Kevin Murphy and Dan Studney are the writers. Let's talk about the cast.
Okay.
Alan Cumming is the lecturer, who's great.
He's phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Christian Campbell plays Jimmy Harper. Kristen Bell plays Mary Lane. This was one of her early roles. She had done some television stuff before this, but this was before she broke big in like Veronica Mars and other stuff.
Yeah, and she did the show off-Broadway, I believe.
I was going to get to that in a second. So Nev Campbell was cast just to bring a little familiar face to the cast. She was pretty popular when this movie came out. Anna Gasteyer plays May, and she was offered the role after she was seen playing Columbia in an off-Broadway production of the Rocky Horror Show.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
John Kasser plays Ralph. He's done all kinds of voiceover stuff. He was the voice of the Crypt Keeper on HBO's Tales from the Crypt back in the day. Amy Spanger plays Sally. We actually saw her off-Broadway in the original cast of Rock of Ages as Sherry.
Okay.
But and I found out another interesting thing about her. At one time, she was married to Michael C. Hall, a.k.a. Dexter.
Oh, wow.
Robert Torti plays Jesus. If you're a fan of That Thing You Do, he was the guy that played Freddie Fredrickson, the guy that sings Mr. Downtown.
Right, when they're on tour.
Yeah, when they're on the fair tour. And Steven Weber plays Jack. So Christian Campbell, Kristen Bell, John Kasser, Robert Torti were all in the stage production at one time.
There you go. And I think I remember that Kristen Bell also, there had been a revival of You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown.
Okay.
And she played Sally, and I think she was pretty well acclaimed. Or
yeah.
Recognized for that.
I gotta say, I love Kristen Bell in this movie. She's tremendous.
She is spot on.
Everybody's great in this movie, to be clear, but Kristen Bell, her face is so good. Mm-hmm. Some of the stuff she does is so funny.
It's very over the top.
Very much so.
So I wanted to, one of the things I wrote down while we were watching is like just style. Mm-hmm. The style of the movie.
Yes.
It's not typical musical comedy. Each character is really played very campy, almost a lot of mugging.
Oh, yeah.
Like, even if they weren't saying something, you could probably understand what they were doing just from their face.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like that was because of the time frame that it takes place in, too. Mm-hmm. You know, I like some of the slang. Like Steven Weber's character talks about, I have to go press bricks to go down to the soda shop to find a kid, to bring back.
Well, Sally's character, the first time she shows up.
Yeah, oh my God.
They wake up after the party and she's wearing a curtain. And she says, "What a night. I was in more laps than a napkin." I mean,
that's great.
Right there, like where you're going with this.
If I can't turn him on, he ain't got switches. There's like a million great, funny, quotable lines in this movie. And we'll be here all day if we quote them all.
I know. And talking about calling women tomatoes.
Oh, yeah.
There's a couple times where, you crazy
tomato. Get away
tomato.
from me, you crazy skirt.
Yep.
Are my ears deceiving me? Are you giving me guff? You give me more static than a radio. Yeah. There's just so many great things in this movie. The performances, you were talking about them being over the top.
Yeah.
Anna Gasteyer is...
The way she talks.
The way she talks.
It's so dramatic.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's great.
The song Mary Jane / Mary Lane was written specifically for the movie. It replaced something called Dead Old Man that the producers thought it just didn't play well for the movie.
Okay.
Sort of meant more for like a solo performance on stage, and it just didn't make sense in the movie. So they cut that song, and then they wrote Mary Jane, Mary Lane, and it ended up winning Outstanding Music and Lyric Emmy Award.
Oh, that's great.
The movie was also nominated for Outstanding Choreography and Outstanding Makeup Non-Prosthetic at the Emmys.
Okay.
So here's an interesting thing about Nev Campbell that I didn't know until I read it today.
Okay.
Christian Campbell, who plays Jimmy in the movie, is her real-life brother.
Get out.
Yeah, and he actually got the role because she was working on Party of Five. One of the writers was involved with that show. And he talked to her like he was going to be adapting the Reefer Madness movie into a musical. And she suggested, my brother would probably be really good for that. And he tried out, got the role, and there you have it.
Oh, he's phenomenal, yeah.
Yeah, he's great. He's another one, and his face is perfect.
Well, and you know what? Now that you say it, I'm like seeing their faces in my mind's eye and going, okay, they're related.
Yeah, didn't even realize that.
No idea.
And they actually purposely downplayed her role in the film. They wanted her in the movie for her name recognition. They didn't want her star power to overpower the two leads, which are Jimmy and Mary.
Right.
Kristen Bell and her brother Christian. So they limited her screen time, basically.
Yeah, she was just in the one number.
Yeah, the down at the old 5 and dime number.
And then everybody has a little bit of a cameo in the Mary Jane, Mary Lane.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. The choreography's great. Mm-hmm. The songs are very catchy. They're fun.
The lyrics are phenomenal.
Yeah.
They're clever, like what they get to rhyme, you would never think.
Yeah, and I like how they purposely, when Alan Cumming's character is lecturing the townspeople, it's all black and white.
Yep, the current time is black and white.
Yep, and then when they go to the story of, was it the Jimmy Harper affair or something like that?
Yeah.
When they're telling the story, it's all in color. So it gives a very Wizard of Oz kind of feel.
Right, yeah. And then eventually the past catches up to today.
Right.
And it's just color, from that point on.
Right.
Which is very cool.
In addition to being on Showtime, it made the rounds on some of the film festivals too. And at Sundance, it premiered on Alan Cumming's 40th birthday.
Oh, nice.
So everybody sang to him, and they brought out a cannabis leaf cake for him and stuff,
cute.
which is pretty cool. So the original Reefer Madness movie came out in 1936. How did our generation hear about this?
In the early 1970s, Richard Nixon started his war on drugs. Sometime around then, people started looking back to this old movie and got it going again and started watching it and really celebrated it as just a piece of schlock.
And it is. Make no mistake about it.
That was just meant to scare people, but it was obvious that how wrong it was.
Yeah, like you can clearly watch the original propaganda film now and laugh at it. It's comical how silly it is.
It is.
Talk about something that's perfect to satirize.
I mean, between all the crazy things that Anslinger said, all the headlines, and then the movie itself, you just go from there.
This movie, even though it's satire, it's certainly not without controversy. And I say that only because if you're somebody who's very religious, you're not going to appreciate at least one of the numbers in this.
I'll say, yeah.
At one point, Jimmy needs to get weed so bad that he goes into a church. He needs money to get his fix, right?
Yeah. Well, this is one of the things, I made a list while we were watching.
Okay.
Of all the things that marijuana will make you do.
You keep saying it like that.
Well, that's how they spelled it.
Yeah, I know.
And one of the things on the list was steal from a church.
There's enough scratching here to keep us in the straw for a week.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Ralph starts inhaling the frankincense. But then he breaks open the collection box to take the money out. And then Jesus on the crucifix behind him in the church.
Yeah.
Smoke comes out of his mouth.
Yeah, and he's like transported to, what is, it's like heaven.
Reefer Madness. Club Celestial.
Oh, that's what it is. The Club
Celestial. Where the MC is Joan of Arc.
That's right. The voices in my head are telling me. Give it up for
the stranger from the manger.
The hardest working man in the afterlife. Jesus.
And that's when Jesus makes his...
It's horrible, but it's so funny.
Yeah, and I think Robert Torti based his performance on Tom Jones.
Okay, yeah.
He doesn't sing like Tom Jones, but yeah, just sort of a loungy kind of vibe. And
yeah.
Listen to Jesus, Jimmy is the musical number. Interestingly, that particular scene, 5 minutes of screen time took 2.5 days to shoot.
Oh, okay. I believe it.
There's a lot going on.
There's,
all the angels.
Yep.
And I also read that some of the angels were actual Las Vegas showgirls, too.
Okay, I
Which
could
is
see that,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I mean, and the best part of that whole scene for me is when the devil does a spit take.
Oh, my gosh, yep. When he says, I got another God now. Jesus with the microphone, the gold microphone.
Yeah, he's flinging the...
the wafers, like they're guitar picks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very blasphemous.
But very funny.
Yeah, it's funny. But again, it's satire.
It's satire.
We're
going absurd.
Yeah, totally absurd. Jesus as a lounge singer is totally absurd.
Yeah. Buff Jesus.
Yes.
In a loincloth.
Yep. The Shakespeare song's a fun one, too.
Romeo and Juliet.
That's right. The cast is just so good. We've watched this movie at least a half a dozen times, maybe more, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just so much fun. And we noticed something for the first time last night.
Yes, we did. After the jazz music Agents of Evil scene.
Oh, okay.
With the unnecessary grace notes.
So in the movie, Alan Cumming's character is talking about how jazz musicians are agents of evil and they smoke the weed and suspends their understanding of time so they can fit all kinds of grace notes when they're playing. That causes women to do unspeakable acts of degradation, and it shows a woman rip her blouse open.
And she's got a bra.
She's wearing a bra. Yeah, there's no nudity.
And a 1930s bra.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
They cut back to the townspeople.
Yeah, and it's the mayor and his wife.
Right.
Yeah. And the wife is just looking appalled.
Right. And the mayor takes his fedora or whatever, and he covers his crotch with it. And I never noticed that until
And he's smiling.
Yeah. I found a great quote from Kristen Bell. She said, "I learned how much fun satire can be when you push the limits through this show. But on a personal level, I can look at the time I was doing Reefer Madness and truly see a fork in the road for me. I had absolutely no idea how big a part Reefer Madness would play in my life. I loved everyone involved and specifically adored the subversive nature of the show. It wasn't until later in life that I realized that if my Reefer family had not convinced me to move to LA, I would not have my career, my husband, or my children. I owe them so much."
Oh, wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That's
how
so cool. One decision.
one role
Yeah.
led to a lot of really great things for her.
Yeah.
And we've enjoyed Kristen Bell in so many things.
Oh, my gosh.
Bad Moms, Queen Pins, which we're going to talk about in the future.
The Good Place.
The Good Place.
Yep.
She, of course, was one of the voices in Frozen, which I've never seen, but
She
of
was
course,
great.
super popular.
Super great. Yep.
She's done a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think she's always very good.
I love the fact that her character, Mary Lane, is such a Mary Sunshine. Really over the top in the beginning. Even when he goes to her, he's going to say, I'm going to leave town. And that's the Mary Lane song. Mm-hmm. And she comes out and she's like, "Jimmy, what are you doing here in the middle of the night? It's almost 9 o'clock.
I'm in my nightgown.
And she's got this big, this pink floofy nightgown. And he's singing to her and she's trying to follow along. Mm-hmm. And then when he says something about a pillow stuffed with bunnies. Yeah. And she goes, "Bunnies? I don't know what you're talking about, but I sure like the sound of it." And her face cracks you up every single time with the Lonesome Pew song.
Yeah.
And then she follows him to the house and Ralph, tricks her into smoking a reefer and she goes instantly nuts and turns into an S&M woman.
Oh, that's great.
And she's dry humping him backwards on the floor.
And that reminds me of like when Jimmy's just humping Sally's leg and stuff.
According to the movie, that is one of the things that Reefer will make you do. I have it written down right here.
Leg?
Hump everything.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll instantly make you high and crazy. It'll make you a devil worshiper. It'll make you hallucinate. You'll see singing clams. You'll see scarecrows come to life. It'll make you shower with your mother.
These are all things in the movie, by the way.
Steal from a church, deny God, sell anything at all for money, for reefer.
Including a baby.
Even your baby. You'll hump everything. You'll go get into S&M. You'll shoot your girlfriend. You'll end up on death row. Oh, and in prison, it makes men fall in love with each other.
Right.
Yep. It'll make you a cannibal. And you will become insatiably violent with incredible strength.
It's so ridiculous and silly and fun and just... It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever find out Neve Campbell dancing?
And Steven Weber?
Yeah.
They are actually doing that dance together.
The entire dance.
That is them.
That's awesome.
The dancing is so impressive,
yeah.
Especially that particular choreography that every time we watch it, I go, I'm trying to figure out if that's really them or if it's body doubles doing it, except for the close-ups. But yeah, no, it was really them.
That's cool.
Yeah. There's a lot of great choreography in this, too. That whole number down at the old Five and Dime has got some great stuff going on with the whole crew and stuff.
Yep. And I love when Jimmy and Mary are talking, she's still doing it.
Yes.
She's talking to him.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that took a lot of practice.
Oh, yeah.
That's like rubbing your belly and patting your head at the same time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
She wants him to learn how to dance so they can join the competition. And that's how Jack gets him. He's going to give him dance lessons.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that Jimmy and Mary, their arcs go from so pure and sweet to completely evil. Mm-hmm. May's arc goes from regretfully evil to saved at the end.
I never feel like May is a villain in this, personally. She was tricked by Jack.
Yeah.
And then she sort of becomes an enabler because she's strung out, in quotes, air quotes, on cannabis.
On the stuff.
On the stuff, exactly. So she just, she can't stand up to Jack because she won't have her fix if she does, right?
But so Jack never grows and Ralph never grows, but they end up dead.
Right.
I mean, Ralph gets impaled. I love a good impaling.
I know you do.
And then May at the end saves Jimmy from the electric chair.
Yeah.
And now he's saved for a higher purpose because
That's right.
They can use the newspapers of William Randolph Hearst and get the truth out. And it's wild because they just...
And there's a line in that song, too, Tell the Truth, talking about exploiting people's fears.
Yes.
Which I feel is what the media does just about everything.
What?
What?
The media today?
Uh-huh.
In our great country?
It's even worse now with the 24-hour news cycle, right?
What?
All right, let's not get too controversial. Any other favorite quotes?
You and me are going to break out like the measles.
I like when Sally and Jimmy are in the car and Sally says, "You expect me to believe some Bobby Soxer can chop your suey the way I can?" Or something like, what did she say?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, the reason I like this movie is, well, I love the music and I'll listen to it while I work. It's so smart.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
very clever.
It's goofy as all get out, but when you like really listen to what's going on, and now that I've looked into like the whole background of the anti-marijuana sentiment, it's amazing.
What I love about this is it takes the source material, the Reefer Madness movie, the propaganda film, which in itself, if you watch that now, you can't believe how absurd it is, right? It takes that, makes a musical out of it, and then just takes the comedic value of it to the stratosphere.
Yep.
We're the kind of people that will look through a menu of a streaming app and we'll come across just something that has a ridiculous title and we'll go, oh, that's probably fun. You know?
Right.
I mean, and we've watched a lot of really terrible movies just because they sound ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah.
And some of them we've actually enjoyed.
Because they're so bad.
Right, exactly.
But this is so good.
This is so good. This is, yeah, it takes something so bad and makes it so good.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the brilliance of
And
this
it just
film.
pokes fun every step of the way.
And somehow it takes the absurd, funny propaganda film and makes it funnier by putting it to music.
Exactly.
It's great.
It's great. I would watch it again and again.
Me too.
I would see it live, performed anywhere.
Me too. Thank you for talking about this movie with me because I can't really think of anybody else I could have done this podcast with that enjoys the movie as much as I do. So,
Well, hey, when you were asking me what would be good to do, I was like, how about Reefer Madness?
yes.
And then you put up with my history lesson too. So
No, I like the history lesson
Okay.
because I think it's a good precursor
It's a-
to
just
the
a
absurdity
backdrop.
of the movie.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. Looking forward to the next one. And if you'd like to find out more information about my voiceover services, or if you're interested in supporting the show by buying merchandise, and that's all kinds of stuff, apparel, mugs, magnets, phone cases, you can even buy a shower curtain with the ScreenFacts logo. How cool is that?
that's pretty cool. And it can go along with your duvet cover.
That's right. Or your throw pillow.
Yeah.
Or your tapestry. Or your tote bag. That's right. You can get all kinds of stuff with the ScreenFacts logo by visiting jasondavisvoice.com/podcast. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
See you in the funny papers.